Welcome to A Healthier, Happier You, the people working to make it happen. I'm Evan J. Cholfin from Luxhammer, where we help the brands that help you live healthier. My next guest I've known for several years now as both a client and a friend, and I'm glad to finally have her on the show. Today I'm joined by Rebecca Hohenstein, owner of Tortoise Hare Sports, who's revolutionizing the running retail experience in Arizona. Her innovative approach to customer service and community building has made quite an impact. Rebecca, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So, what inspired you to create Tortoise Hare Sports?
So, my husband and I met in a running shop, and he has been in this industry since 1999 and always wanted to open a run shop. We moved out to Arizona in around 2009, 2010, and then we saw that there was an opportunity in the West Valley. There wasn't a running shop there, so we looked around and found a spot, and it took a while to open up, and then here we are today. So we started looking in 2010, and then we opened the doors in May of 2012. We wanted to have a store that focused on service, and we wanted to have service and community be a big part of what we were doing. And then also make people who don't feel like runners welcome, hence the name Tortoise and Hare. I started running when I was in my mid 20s, and Nathan has always been a runner, and he was a really, really fast runner, and I was slow, middle of the pack runner. The first time I went into a running store, it was incredibly intimidating because I thought everybody ran 4 minute, 5 minute, 6 minute miles, and that I was like the slowest person. I know that's not true. Most people don't run that fast, but it actually took opening the store and having a training program to know that more people don't run at a 5 or 6 minute mile.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't run a 4 minute mile, so
I don't think many people run a 4 minute mile. That's just what I thought.
that's pretty tough. Your 5 point fit process is unique in the industry. What led you to develop this comprehensive approach?
We wanted to make it so it could be shared by everyone. When you come into our shop, we wanted people to feel like they could show up and not like we did all the heavy lifting for them. So once someone comes into the store, we ask them a lot of different questions to determine what their profile is. So if they're looking for shoes for running, for walking, for working out, or if they have foot problems, and then other injuries that they've had that could affect the support that they need. We look at the strength and stability of the foot and the ankle, and we take into consideration the height of the arch, the foot rotation, and the bone structure. And then we render a 3D image of the foot. We want to educate people. So our mission is to encourage, educate, and celebrate a healthy lifestyle while embracing your pace. We want people to understand why we are pulling or having them try different shoes or products for them. Some of the tools that we use allow us to educate the customers on what is happening on the foundation of their feet, from the weight of their body, and how it is when they're standing and when they're in motion, and how those things change. Also taking into consideration the bone structure, and then the foot rotation, and then looking at the foot from a three-dimensional standpoint. A lot of people have challenges getting shoes because they're only looking at the length and the width, and they're not taking into consideration the instep height, the girth, or where even their arch is. And then they're also in maybe the wrong length of shoe.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how has the business evolved since you first opened your doors?
When we first opened, one of the big driving factors at that time was more of a minimal type of shoe. So if you've heard of the Vibram Five Fingers or barefoot running, that was really big in the time when we first opened. Since then, there has been a movement towards people appreciating more cushion, and like Hoka, they were the first max cushion footwear company that came out. Within that max cushion, there are denser max cushion shoes, and there's more squishy max cushion shoes. Right now, things are tending to go very soft and they need to find that happy medium, because soft doesn't always mean comfortable. There's certain shoes that can hurt your feet because they're just so soft. The biggest thing that we are seeing right now too is people want cushion, and high cushion and max cushion are definitely something that a lot more runners, walkers, and everyday people who are coming in for shoes are appreciating and interested in.
Yeah, definitely. I know you're really big on community. Can you tell me about the squad concept and what inspired this community approach?
We've always had group runs and things like that. We wanted to create a space that people felt comfortable with. A lot of people will say, well, I'm not a runner. Most people who are runners run between 0 and 12 miles per week. I think a lot of people who say I'm not a runner, to be considered a runner, they have to like run a marathon or they have to do a half marathon. And that's just not true. Concept of the squad was to bring all of our runs together. People wanted to have community, not just at those runs, but outside of that. They would be able to have friendships, not just at these runs, but in our everyday lives. When I was growing up, I did a lot of solo sports like taekwondo or mountain bike riding, rollerblading, and I would do it for several hours a day, which is a little excessive, but I always did it on my own. When you get to enjoy working out with other people, one, you're going to do it longer. Two, they're going to push you to higher goals and to help you become a better version of yourself. And it just helps you feel better because you have other people supporting you and really just lifting you up, and everyone gets to inspire each other.
Yeah, I love that. So, who's your ideal customer? Who do you serve best?
We're on the west side of town. And so we work with runners, walkers, warehouse workers, nurses. We have a lot of podiatric patients. So a lot of people who have foot pain. We really specialize and understand the foot. My background is medical. My husband's background is he is also a podorthist. We started working with podiatrists before we opened, and I used to work with a ton of podiatrists. And so that's kind of how all of those things fell into place.
Yeah, that's great. Changing topics a little bit, what has been your biggest challenge in growing a specialty retail business in today's market?
I think the biggest challenge in today's market is making sure that we're always doing a better job at connecting with our team and communicating with our team, and we have the right people. The hardest part is the people piece, but it's also the most rewarding. We're always learning new things and new strategies to help not only our community, but also our team, making sure that they are equipped with all the information, knowledge, and tools that they have. So, from a customer facing standpoint, we're always ahead of where other people are from a retail standpoint. I do feel like the other opportunity that we have to do a better job is online, translating that to an online shopping experience. So it's just not a click.
Could you talk a little bit more about that? That's really interesting.
One of the things that we have done in the past during COVID, we would actually do fittings online. The challenge is 80% of people are in the wrong size shoe. Most of the time, it's a combination of length and width. And so, how do we translate on a higher scale of what we're doing in the store online, so people feel like the service that they receive inside the shop is the same as what they would receive online?
Yeah, I can imagine that being a unique challenge. You provide such a high level of service in store, to match that online is certainly a challenge. And it's certainly something that makes you stand out in the running retail space. What challenges do you face raising awareness and educating customers about the store and what makes it unique?
I definitely feel like there's a lot more noise in the industry. There's a lot of experts online that aren't experts. I think sometimes that can be a little bit challenging, because people will come in and they'll be like, oh, well, I should get this shoe because this person said that it worked really well for them, whether that's online or they're talking to other people too. For instance, I love Hoka's. Like, I love that extra cushion. For people who have mobility and balance issues, that shoe's just not going to work for them because the stack height is so high. That's one piece. We're competing with some of the brands that we carry. Some people also feel like because we're a specialty store that we have a different price than what it would be online or at a big box store. And that's not the case. It's the same price if you come into our store or if you get it online or if you get it at a bigger box. Raising awareness. We go out in the community. We go out to medical facilities. We go to health fairs. We do online advertising as well. A lot of people who come and shop with us, a lot of it's word of mouth. And then I think that just doing more paid advertising online helps to get people. We've been here for almost 15 years, and there's still people who might live right down the street have no idea that we're here. In the last 5 years, those platforms have changed quite a bit. So just making sure that we're staying up to date on all the different changes and all the different platforms and the new ones that have come in since we've opened.
What are your main growth targets for this year?
One of our biggest goals was to hire a store manager. We're looking at a second location and we are in talks for doing that. Every year, we always want to make sure one of our goals is to continue to grow our team, to grow them personally and professionally, and making sure that we have enough staff and team members. So there is a equal distribution of work. Because we'll get a ton of people in all at the same time, and we want to make sure that our team doesn't feel overwhelmed with the amount of customers that come into the shop.
So, what do you think's working best in attracting new customers right now?
We've partnered with different for-profit and nonprofit organizations, and that's always been an incredible blessing. And it helps to on both sides to spread the word of what we're doing. Even when we have community events. So we have a donut run. Two of our biggest runs of the month are the donut run and the pizza and pint run. We like to run and eat. We'll have physical therapists and like Stretch Lab will come out, or people who teach yoga, and like all different types of people within the fitness and medical community, and even coffee shops and a lot of different vendors. So I definitely think that when we think of community, we think of runners in our community, walkers, hikers, run clubs, different for-profit and nonprofit businesses. A couple of times a year, we also do different give back runs where we'll host a run here. You get swag and a whole bunch of other stuff, and you pay a nominal fee for it. And then we give all of that back to different organizations. One of the biggest needs that people have are shoes. And so we donate thousands of shoes every single year. Those are specifically geared towards Maggie's Place, or the Hope Effect, and helping different organizations. It's really cool.
That is cool. I love that. So, what trends are you seeing in running retail that excite you?
Run clubs are a huge trend, which is really exciting because that means more people are interested in running. It's really beautiful to see big groups of people getting together and looking at fitness as a go-to. Instead of going to the bar, they're getting up and going for a run, and they are doing more active things in the morning or in the daytime. Seeing some of those shifts has been pretty cool. And also knowing that because there are so many different types of run groups, that it doesn't matter, like some groups are for fast runners and slow runners, and you can be around other people that you can see yourself as. So that's one piece. The max cushion is a trend that's here, and it's helped a lot of people, and it's also been something that we have seen a higher tick in from a sales standpoint, that people want high cushion or max cushion.
So, what's going to be crucial to get right in the next year?
I think just continuing to focus on people and our community and our team. When we focus on people, we focus on our team, we focus on our community, and we focus on how we're serving others and serving our community, serving them at the bench when we are fitting people for shoes, going out into the community and serving others. That's something that's really important to us. It has continued to help our business grow throughout the years by focusing on those things, and then also focusing on some of the changes in technology.
Yeah, definitely. So, if we had this conversation again in 12 months, what would make you feel it's been a successful year?
Just ensuring our team is having more training opportunities, whether they're micro training opportunities or 15-minute conversations, just to ensure that we are continuously serving our customers and being able to educate them from a community standpoint, just kind of the same thing. One of our goals is to get out into the community a little bit more and being more meaningful and strategic in the partnerships that we have within the community around the West Valley.
That all sounds great. I love that. Well, that's it for today's episode of Healthier, Happier You, the people working to make it happen. A huge thank you to Rebecca for sharing her insights and amazing work that Tortoise and Hare Sports is doing to help people live healthier, happier lives. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could benefit. If you're a brand or business making an impact in health, wellness, or personal care, we'd love to help you grow. Connect with me at luxhammer.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep making a difference.